Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Sharon Narenberg, and I am here today with James Clevenger from Hughes Network Systems. Hi, James.
Hi, Sharon. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, James leads government sales and solutions for Hughes, specifically with the state and federal
Yep.
markets.
Yep.
Yes.
Been here almost 3 years already.
All right, good. But you have many years of experience in the networking space for government.
Sure, but prior to Hughes, I spent 21 years at Quest and CenturyLink,
Right.
now
Okay.
Lumen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
great. So you definitely come to us with a bit of authority here as we have our conversation.
experience, maybe not authority.
Okay. So, well, let's just get right to
Sure.
it. At Hughes, we serve all kinds of distributed enterprises with managed network services. But what is it about state and local government customers that's unique when it comes to their networks?
Sharon, I think the biggest thing that I see and that we see is that by definition, state networks are intrastate or all within the same state, versus federal or enterprise networks that cross state lines, sometimes even international borders. So that's probably the biggest difference in terms of the network itself. And for a long time, what that meant was that the local exchange carriers or the LECs were the only ones that could really provide these types of networks. Think of the traditional, going back to the Ma Bell, US West, Verizon, AT&T, the local exchange providers were the only ones that could provide these networks. So in a lot of situations, those incumbents are really embedded with the states because for a long time they were the only ones that could do it. IP networks have changed that. Now the states have a lot of different solutions at their fingertips and have benefited, as have enterprise and federal networks and customers, to the benefits of cheap, reliable bandwidth. Other than that, Sharon, I think the wide area network needs of states are very similar to federal and even enterprise customers. Wide area networks are wide area networks. They need to be secure, reliable, and as fast as possible.
And so let's stay on this intrastate
Sure.
concept because even within the state, you can have different locations that
Oh,
require different types of connectivity.
absolutely. I mean, and take, some of our larger states, Texas, California, they're bigger than some countries.
Right.
So you're absolutely right, and it's their locations can be some can be in very urban environments, some can be in very rural environments, and you need to be able to support them all. And that's the multi-access environment that we're quickly becoming thrust into is where Hughes really separates ourselves, in that we can support both the urban, city NFL cities, requirements, as well as your remote into the forest types of locations with our solutions.
Great. All right. So it's been a crazy couple of years. What are some of the networking challenges that you've seen your government customers experience? And were there any learnings?
Yeah, sure. So I think we all went through it during COVID, and I think the this isn't specific to just state government or federal government, but I think enterprise as well, is that budget constraints have hit us all. So state and local governments are being asked to do more and more with less.
Right.
And the other thing that we really see, and it hit everybody, is staffing. Being able to hire and retain good people, and how that impacts the network is that, working from home capabilities is now almost an expectation, right? So as a network provider to your customers, your employees, you have to be able to solve their office issues. They need to be able to work from home. They need to be able to work on the road, mobile. So, and you need to be able to support all of this. So that has changed networking requirements for all of us, and because good people now expect to have that at their disposal
Absolutely. It's all about being always connected, always
wherever I
on,
am.
no matter where you are.
Right,
Right.
right.
Definitely. So let's talk about some specific solutions. Software defined wide area networking, SD-WAN. How does it benefit state agencies,
Sure,
public servants, citizens?
sure. So I'm going to expand it a little bit, just not SD-WAN, but throw managed broadband into that same category. And we could get into the weeds of the differences, but the big deal is that These networks are now smarter, more reliable. They have the ability, and what this means for the state agencies is that now they have the ability to route traffic based on application or bandwidth congestion, network congestion. So it allows the internal network providers and employees to do more with those networks than they have in the past. So you can keep people's internet surfing over off to the side where it's not mission critical, but boy, that 911 call or whatever the case may be in terms of an emergency or a disaster recovery better go through and better have the appropriate prioritization. So specific cases, they're all over the place. We provide the state of Pennsylvania with a great deal of remote access and wide area network capabilities that allow the police officers to do what they do. And it's everything from getting the police officer the information on the license plate that he's pulling up at the time he needs it to know if that's a bad guy or if it's just a traditional traffic stop. So there are a lot, and we're continuing to grow those relationships as customers come to us and ask us, what else can you do? So it's been a nice environment to be in.
That's great. So, talk about the idea of, kind of cost versus performance, because I think the price of bandwidth is coming down, but state agencies can still get this enterprise grade connectivity.
Yeah, and it also needs to be there all the time, right? So, SLAs become important, providing, but you're absolutely right. Bandwidth has come down in terms of cost, but you're doing more with it, so you need more of it.
Mhm.
So, that's what has kind of, it made this unique environment where my budget's going down. Bandwidth costs have gone down, but I need more of it. So I'm still being asked to do more with less money.
What about the idea of the kind of the management and the solutions that help these state agencies do more with the bandwidth that they have?
So that's another great point, Sharon. That's another real benefit of the managed broadband and the SD-WAN is the management capability that these portals. So think of your online banking. You have access to all your environment, all your money, where it is, your checking account, your savings account, whatever it may be, all at one, what we call one pane of glass, one screen. So in today's managed networks, whether it's SD-WAN or managed broadband or an enterprise network, we provide portal that allows our not only our customers but also our employees when they need to troubleshoot. So the customer has visibility into their entire network, whether it's a broadband circuit, a satellite connection, a cellular connection. They have access to all of those different technologies and even different providers in some cases through a portal that Hughes provides when we're managing your network for you. So that information is king, and that really gives the power back to the customer to enable to see where there's issues, maybe even anticipate where there might be issues and make appropriate changes. So the management capabilities of these managed networks and SD-WANs has really improved customers' lives.
That's really great. So, other kinds of solutions and applications that you can talk about, maybe digital signage,
Well, that's
cloud-hosted
absolutely the one,
applications.
Sharon, that
Yeah.
comes to mind is our digital signage capabilities. And until I came to Hughes, I didn't really think about digital signage as a technology and or an important application. Now that I have become aware, you see digital signage everywhere. These digital signs are everywhere, and think of digital signage is those TV screens that you see in restaurants or in a waiting area or in the lobby of a corporate office building, and it's being used for more and more. So that technology and the capability really allows state agencies, federal or enterprise, to communicate both with their external customers, the constituents or citizens, as well as internally, and improve their employees' lives as well. Hey, happy birthday, Sharon. It's Sharon's birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Sharon internally. Or now serving when you are sitting in the lobby of a VA or hospital or maybe an SSA environment.
Right. That's great. Yeah, it's interesting. And we use the digital signage, of course, throughout
Love
the
it.
Hughes
Yeah,
offices.
everywhere.
And it's definitely an engagement tool and a unifier from the employee perspective,
Yes.
and great PR when customers come into the building as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon? What should state agencies be looking for next when it
So,
comes to networks?
so I think more and more state agencies are being asked to support various types of locations and needs from a networking perspective. So this is kind of the environment that we call multi-access. How do I get to my network? Because they don't really care how they get to their network, whether it's a broadband circuit, a satellite circuit, a cellular circuit. They just need to know that they have access to the information that they need when they need it. So Hughes, we're in a unique position in that I think you have to be ready to have at your disposal LEO capabilities. Low Earth orbiting is the buzzword right now in our industry, and it's really cool technology that isn't going to replace everything, but it's going to add. So it's another access method. So now you have not only your traditional networks, your broadband access, traditional satellite geo capabilities. We Hughes are going to be launching our Jupiter 3 satellite in the first half of 2023, which will give us even more traditional geo satellite capacity. Along with that, we have a strategic relationship with OneWeb, who is a low Earth orbiting satellite provider, and we're going to have those capabilities in the very near future. And again, that'll just be another access. So, and then you need the hardware that combines all these and has access to all these different technologies. So I think the agencies need to be aware of what's at their disposal. This isn't your grandfather's satellite communications. The bandwidth that we're getting is incredible, and the capabilities. We're running VoIP calls over satellite all the time, and it certainly has a place. So multi-access environments are absolutely where we're headed, where we are. And I would also recommend that you have the ability to have flexibility in your purchasing agreements and your contracts. Multiple provider awards give you flexibility and competition between providers,
Mm.
but also make sure that you have technology refresh clauses so that if a new technology comes out, your contract vehicle allows you to either add it or change the language so that you have access to these new technologies as they come out. Don't just award a frame relay network. That's an old term, but don't just award that. Award wide area network capabilities, so, and let the providers show you what their best technology is for you, and that way you can make the decision.
All right. So, James, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sharon.
And thank you for joining us. For more information about Hughes products and solutions for government customers, visit hughes.com. I'm Sharon Narenberg. Thanks for joining us.